Hey YouTube, how's it going? Long time no see. Only about a week. Yeah, so I haven't put up much content, and it's kind of because I kind of had a interesting couple of weeks. I had a little bit backed up, but not really enough to do anything. Um, yeah, occasionally I get stressed. When you are running a company, I guess that kind of comes with it, but then past couple of weeks has been really, really not fun. Um, but it's also I kind of ran into I want to say Thursday, kind of almost an existential crisis of really having to sit down and think about things. Not in a bad way, actually in a really good way. It's kind of getting back to oh, where do I explain this? Because I haven't been doing this less than a month. And there's a huge amount of past that has to come into play. About a little over 2 years ago now, I got out of a relationship that I shouldn't have gotten into. And even though I kind of had a bounce back relationship right afterwards, that didn't work out. And I kind of looked around as the dust settled from that relationship. And I basically said, what am I doing with my life? I had been in tech support for 6 years at that point. Well, 5.5-ish. And really wasn't doing anything or going anywhere. The company I work for just wasn't promoting anymore. I basically was languishing. I kind of came up with the term, and yes, this is absolutely nerdy, of an 8th rank pawn unpromoted. If you know chess, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't know chess, basically it means you've got all this potential, but there's no way up. Either due to your surroundings or yourself. I had basically waited way too long at that company to be able to do more. I had all this desire, I had all these, side skills I could easily have developed, but no, they wanted me on phones and tickets. And I looked around and basically realized, yeah, I'm a bit depressed about this. So I started making kind of an exit plan of not only that company. I thought about just making it just a company, but then I realized, no, you're probably going to go into the same field. I tried in like 2007 to get out of IT, and unfortunately the economy just afterwards started taking a shit. I actually remember hearing, oh yeah, everyone, felt it in 2008, but it actually started in December 2007. I was trying to get out in October 2007. So it's kind of like I was at this, seeing the herald of the problems. So I started making an exit plan of not only that company, but also the state. I lived in California. I started realizing how bad it was as time went on. I lived in the same city, and more importantly, the same square mile for half my life. 4 addresses and a square mile. Circling the drain is what it felt like after I realized that. So I started looking towards getting out of state and trying to get a degree under my belt that I wanted. Kind of fast forward a couple years, and that isn't going nearly as well as I had hoped, the degree portion. I'll stay mum about what's actually going on yet. So I gotta let that kind of sink in. But I have to look back for a moment and realize, okay, I went from a wage slave, doing 8 to 5, 40-hour weeks, being bored off of my ass, to actually having something engaging happening in my life, which is my company. Though that isn't nearly taking off as heavy as I'd hoped. I mean, after a couple years, we're not going away. That's actually one of the other things that, in this existential crisis, which I'm getting to. So I ended up having some talks with some people this week, and it made me finally really think about, what do I really want in life, and what do I want to see? And I'm probably the most least, starting that sentence again, I am the least materialistic person that I know. My roommate Jake might actually get towards that, but at the same time, I don't have a lot of wants. I'm not, trying to get a house. I actually think the housing market is still shit, and I'm not going to spend, even with what I was making an advantage, like, 5 times my annual gross for a 2-bedroom house. And that's being nice. Especially in California. California's fucking like 10 or more. I don't have these materialistic aspirations. Homes, cars, having monuments built to myself. I honestly don't give a flying fuck about those things. I never have. And it's not oh, he's so sad because he doesn't have these goals. No, actually, I do. And this is part of what I started realizing about the existential crisis was I like making things that other people can see. It's the content creation. It's the creativeness that goes into it. And so long as I can get it out there and get some feedback, I'm actually happy. I mean, I don't want to create crap. I'm trying to get better at the pacing of what I'm doing in the game videos, which I need to start recording some more. So I have nothing on hand. I haven't even touched Rogue Legacy or Broken Age about the time I recorded the last Broken Age video. So I need to record like 5 or 6 in a row of each of those, and see what's going on, pushing forward on that. Which I can do right in a row. It's like someone had ended up saying, "Oh, you've got the things on YouTube, so you're so great at marketing." I could take a video, just take this camera, go to the bathroom right over there, my bathroom over there. Just record like the towel that's in front of the toilet while I'm on it, while I'm grunting out crap, and put it here up on YouTube. It almost have the same effect as what I'm already doing. So, yeah, content creation and marketing, 2 different things. And that's really what I think I'm trying to do here, is figure out the marketing aspect, to find people to sit there and, watch it and, like and comment and subscribe. You see that at the end of any video. Mine is, I want to see what the audience thinks. I want that actual feedback. I want that interaction, because I can sit here and walk up the street and start talking to a stranger. I'm not going to get that feedback. Did they get creeped out by me doing it? Did they enjoy it? Am I going to get it in the future? Because doing that over and over again drains me. That's the introvert version of my brain, is having huge social interactions sit there and want me pull out my hair and walk away and recharge alone, which goes counter to wanting the feedback. So that was kind of the existential crisis again. That's what I'm calling it, is the, what am I doing here? Why do I exist? I actually think that I exist to be creative. I've got things that, good God, I've got somewhere a board game that I started developing over the holidays that I really need people to playtest. I've looked at it, I've messed around it, doing dice on my own, but I want to see what people can break it. Believe it or not, I want people to break it because it's flawed right now and could be so much better. I should think it would be a fun game. But I need to know other people think it's a fun game. It's that feedback. So maybe I sit there and start spamming this particular video. This just came off the top of my head. I start spamming this particular video and just say, dude, I want some fucking feedback. I just want to hear, you suck, Call of Duty 420 swag twerk, whatever. You, I will ignore. Sorry. I actually had a friend. He did not know what the whole Miley Cyrus twerk thing was. And I'm like, seriously, you don't? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you can go look it up, but, be blessed the fact that you actually don't know what that is. I still laugh at it. Of course, while this is going on, Justin Bieber just got arrested on like a DUI or whatever. And somebody took his smiling mugshot and said, dude, there's barely any difference. And they, used a GIF to morph it over into Miley Cyrus. That was the funniest goddamn thing. So I want to continue doing videos. I need to take a step back because as much as I want to do games, I want to see them to completion, but I also want them to be fun. I want people to at least play them and enjoy them, and I think I have fun games already. I just don't know, there's something missing in them. And this isn't a fear of success or anything like that. First Light got out. We got some feedback that, yeah, you can play it, but, it's not really compelling. So, you need to take a step back, figure out what's going on with that. But I guess on a separate side is, I'm realizing in the past couple of months, I think honestly I'm just now pulling myself out of a really, really depressed cloud of, just I was hiding here in my room. I really wasn't doing anything online other than just playing games, not even, talking or things like that. I just had this dark cloud around me, and I've finally started snapping out of it, and it's always a hard thing to do. It's not the first time, actually. That's the kind of sad thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where I was going with that thought even. Because the more I sit there and think about how depressing it was, then I forget that I'm getting out of it, and then I start going back into it. Which, kind of a self-perpetuating cycle, which sucks. I guess a couple of things. Moving forward, I'm going to have to get a new headset because this thing is actually broken on the sides. It works over my head. I don't do this because it looks weird to me. So maybe I get a stand microphone, but then I want a new headset, I'll remind myself to quiet down that cough down. Sorry. Um, yeah, I had this huge transition about from like August on is when really it feels like a lot of this started. And I don't know if you can figure out what everything happened by saying that, what, happens around August or, you know, September. Things can start then. But that didn't really forward for me, and it's getting back to basics of what I want. I had someone ask me, do you want a wife and children? This really was a question. It was during some of the more stressful of everything that's going on, and I had to sit there and think about it. I'm 34 and I have to really actually think about that because I don't know. That's what the person said is, maybe you should actually think about it. But here's the flip side on that question. I wouldn't know what I would want from it. Yeah, I mentioned at the beginning of the video the relationship I shouldn't have gotten into. Yeah. Oh, I'm not drunk enough to fully talk about that one. Though, a pro tip for anyone, just anyone. One, if she's going to cheat with you, she's probably going to cheat on you. But two, unless they are fully yours, don't tell them you love them. Because you can't, because that is a two-way street. Not that the first one was something that happened. The second one, yeah. And once I kind of realized it was over, I had a really destructive moment. I don't remember much of that weekend. It sucked. Yeah, so not all these vlogs I think are going to be the, bright and shiny things. And I may record a second one because, have another topic, but I don't think it's going to fit this video. So I am going to try to figure out a way to promote this vlog. Just this one, and see what else I can generate from that. We've gone quite a while, I think. Or at least I got a lot off of my chest that, I can talk to people in real life, but doesn't happen. Yeah, this is probably my longest vlog so far. But anyways, if you like what you're hearing, you're interested to see what happens in the future or even right now, go ahead and, subscribe. If you, want to actually give me a comment, say, hey, maybe you should do this more or do that less. Comment, leave me a like, leave me a dislike. I don't give a shit. Feedback. But yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, and this is Jefe. I'll see you later.